Well, most of us, or a lot of us, love a cup of coffee. But how often do you think about where your coffee comes from and what impact it's having? Coffee Mentality is a Brisbane-based small coffee enterprise, and its role in promoting sustainable practices in the coffee industry is nice and strong right now. Let's bring in Ian Badiano, founder and coffee advocate at Coffee Mentality. Great to have you. How are you today?
Hi, Adrian. Thank you for having us on Ticker News. How are you?
Yeah, going very well. I've had my coffee today. What's your favourite coffee? I go for an iced latte myself, even when it's cold. That's what I do. What about you?
Yeah, it's the weather for it. Mine, I always love mine short and black.
Okay, very good.
Short
I'm a fan
and sweet.
too. I can do that too, but as long as it's cold, it's got to be cold. I'm a big fan of that. But anyway.
Oh, well, you should try a cold brew then.
Yes, I love a cold brew. Hey, let's get into what you're up to. Firstly, what is Urban Coffee Project? And talk more about the role that's promoting sustainable practices in the coffee industry, because this seems like it's growing. A lot more people are more mindful of this area.
That is exactly right. First of all, I answer your second question, which is, what is sustainable business to us? For me, there are three details that I consider to be the happy index for our business. One of that is the product. Our product, of course, is the perfect representation, being the coffee, is the perfect representation of what our customer wants. Should be affordability, should be consistency, and as well that it is, accessible for our customers. Secondly, as well, is the service. The service, obviously, our main strength as well is our people. So our business is given credit to the people who work with Coffee Mentality since we started until the current crew that we have now. So we make sure they are well, motivated, they are happy with what they do, and they're also well supported. And then the lastly as well is the contribution. And this will also answer your first questions about our urban farming project.
Yep.
I find joy and energy in doing my job and running my business to help and value add to the community, to our existing customers, obviously to our family, friends, and obviously to my origin as well, which is coming from the Philippines. Our urban coffee project is, I would say, trying to break the myth that you're not able to actually create specialty coffee in a low environment or in an urban environment. Now, in the process of doing or experimenting this to understand the whole integration of coffee from the moment you plant it all the way to roast and drinking it, we were able to discover that you can actually plant coffee in an urban environment and yes, still taste good. You're able to actually meet specialty grade requirements to meet for all those specialty coffee drinkers.
Yep.
And at the same time, create a whole new experience in coffee, not just the actual drink, but you can create more products like jam, like candies, and all sorts. And I think there's so much that you can discover in coffee that I don't think we have discovered yet.
Amazing. Just briefly to finish, the sustainable side of coffee is really interesting. What makes things unsustainable? Like what is the difference between it being sustainable when you're growing coffee and the other side? Can you sort of break it down just briefly to finish?
To make it short there, sustainability is how long your value endures over time, which means sustainability ends when values change. And I think we really have to stick our values the moment you started your business, the moment you started your farm. If you stick to your values and people around you, your community is happy, you're having fun, you're enjoying and passionate, I think that's what I call sustainable. If you lose all that, if you lose the passion, if you lose the joy of creating what you need to do or doing what you do, then, I think that's going to be unsustainable. It will be downhill from there, I reckon.
Makes a lot of sense. Ian, great to chat. It's always a topic that I enjoy. I love my coffee. We'll talk again soon. Thanks for being on Ticker News.
Right. Thank you, Adrian.